Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Daily Discipline number 118. Rob Hoback here. It is the 11th day of February. Artwork by Addison J. Hoback. You are welcome. If you haven't seen her latest video, The Princess Life number 6, let me know. I'll send you the link. You guys ready to get to work? I am. So number one, let's start with our thank yous. I am so thankful that I have perspective. I'm talking a little bit about this. I think the whole perspective thing started for me back as soon as the kids went back into school. So about a month ago, I went and did, what was it called? Watchdogs. And as I was doing Watchdogs, as I was the watchdog, I was in art class and they were doing perspective. They were showing a box and then the sight line and you get perspective back to that. And so like it didn't click in the moment. It clicked later when some people from my Hannah Street Steak and Shake days reached out to me and I was like, wow. This is a lot different than it was then, and it's a lot different, better for me. I don't know what their life is like. I can see on their Facebook, doesn't look like their life is nearly as, I don't know. Yeah, what can you know, right? What can you know? All I'm saying is that when I was there, I didn't expect to be here. I didn't even really have expectations. Like, literally, let's think about this. When I was, to give you perspective, I was running a Steak and Shake that had, I think it had like 22 seats in it, and probably 5 or 6 of those were up at the counter. It was this tiny little, didn't have a drive-through. I lived in a mobile home. Yeah, not that there's anything wrong with that, but that was the perspective. To me, success was making it to the next day. Surviving was success. Not, oh my God, I'm behind in my retirement savings, right? Like, that's where I'm at now. And I'm like, oh, my God, my life. I'm like, whoa, bro, pump the brakes, man. Pump the brakes. Have a little perspective. Where did you think you were going to be? Were you prepared for more? Did you have the discipline that once you did taste success, that you knew how to keep it going? Or were you just like a drunken-ass sailor? Like, You know what the answer is. I know what the answer is. So, anyway, I'm thankful that I got some perspective today. When I start boo-hooing, I did it yesterday. I was telling a story to somebody about when I lived in California. Story time for you, Nuke. So here I was, living in California, miserable. For those of you that were with me, I was so miserable. I was so miserable because I was lost. I didn't have any discipline. I didn't know. I felt good about myself being around other people. I worked in a job where I went to the office every day. I was around a bunch of people who most of them were nice to me. You know, all of these things. All of a sudden, boom, I'm by myself in California, and I had Sam. That was my infrastructure. I had some people, and by the way, at that point in his life, Sam didn't want to come with me every day. So I'd go to daycare to pick him up, and he'd scream, he'd run the other way. True story, right? That's the bad side. Let's talk about the good side. I made a lot of money. Like by 90% of the population, they would have looked at how much money I was making and be like, wow, you make a lot of money. Okay, well, we got that. Lived in an amazing house. Like I rented this house that was in an inland waterway. Water from the ocean was literally within 100 yards of my house. Right? Pretty cool for a kid from Central Illinois who in his Hannah Street Steak and Shake days was living in a mobile home at 117 Stapleton in the Landings. There's a 117 for you. I just put that together, too. And I grew up on 116 Cypress. Ooh. Thank God it's 118 today. Anyway, perspective. So I lived there. I had a really cool car. I did. Not that your life is defined by your car, but if you've never drove around a really cool car, like, while it shouldn't be this way, people treat you different. People treat you like you're like really successful if you have a really nice car and you seem to be the type of person. Anyway, it was just different. So I got to drive around that car. I remember driving like at that point in my life, a lot of time I was just driving from my house to the airport to fly someplace else. So as I would drive that beautiful car down the PCH, the Pacific Coast Highway, when I looked to the east, I saw the Sierra Nevada mountains. Beautiful. There were times like when you went through Malibu, when you get north of Malibu, it's literally the mountains, the road, the ocean. And at nighttime, it is beautiful. On a clear night, like sun or the moon reflecting off the water, just unbelievable. And all I was doing was complaining. Right? because I didn't think of things in perspective. I didn't say to myself, hey, what would Hannah Street Steak and Shake Rob think about you living this lifestyle right now? I bet he'd think it was pretty cool. And by the way, that's not a random ass stranger. That's you. That's you like 20 years ago. What are you complaining about? Yeah, I love this. I love this new comparison point. What would Hannah Street Steak and Shake Rob think about this, right? And the further I go back, the more impressed that version of Rob would be. Whew. Yeah. And did I get into the rock, paper, scissors thing? I don't think I even got into that. And we're out of time, so maybe we'll do that another time. Hands up, peace out, get some perspective. I bet your life is much like mine. Your life is a lot better than you ever really thought and imagined that it would be. And that you've got a lot more to be thankful for than you give yourself credit for. Hands up, peace out, we're better together. I'll be back here tomorrow with some more daily discipline for you. Hope you'll make it back too. Thanks for your time. Go have a Savage Monday, and I'll see you tomorrow. Deuces.